Now at noon, officials are expected to brief the media on yesterday's shocking discovery: the bodies of a man and woman found dead inside their Bucks County home. Authorities are calling this a double murder investigation. Good afternoon. I'm Rahel Solomon.
And I'm Jim Donovan. Let's get right to our Greg Argos at the Township Building in Richboro, where that news conference is expected any moment now. Good afternoon, Greg.
And good afternoon there, Jim and Rahel. The press conference actually has just begun. The Chief of Police for the Northampton Police Department, as well as the Assistant District Attorney, are here. We're going to take that live for you right now.
Tyler Roy and his wife Christina were found on the upper floor of their home, located at 26 Kitty Knight Drive in Churchville. Law enforcement is asking for information on the whereabouts of Daniel Kenneth Mooney, age 26, who's a person of interest in this matter. The defendant may be walking with a pronounced limp, and there is an active arrest warrant for Mr. Mooney as a result of an unrelated car theft that occurred in Northampton Township the night of April 30th. Mooney is wanted for questioning in this homicide as well as the theft of the Roy's vehicle. The Roy's vehicle was recovered this morning in Northeast Philadelphia. Anybody who encounters Mr. Mooney is cautioned not to confront him and to call 911 immediately. Anybody with information on his whereabouts is asked to please call 215-322-6114. If I didn't mention it, Mr. Mooney may be walking with a pronounced limp. And with that, we'll take a couple questions.
He's the neighbor. How far does he live from this family?
He lives in the neighborhood.
What do you believe happened?
It's too early to speculate about all the facts inside the house.
Is he considered armed and dangerous?
We believe he could be armed. Certainly is dangerous based upon the goings-on over the past couple days.
Has Mr. Mooney struggled with heroin addiction in the past? Do you know that about him?
That's not something I can comment on.
Do we know of any previous relationship between the victim and the suspect?
The only relationship that we are aware of is that they live in the same neighborhood.
So is his family cooperating with you since they live a couple of doors down?
We've spoken to family members, and family members have been nothing but cooperative.
Has his cell phone pinged in Philadelphia? Have you tracked why is Philadelphia helping you?
That's not something I can comment on, Jeff.
Sir, the names of the victims, can you spell them for us, please?
Sure. Tyler Roy, R-O-Y. Christina Roy, ages 27 and 28.
And Mooney?
Mooney's M, as in Mary, O-O-N-E-Y, age 26.
Does he live at that address down the way from them, or does he have another home?
All I could say is that he lives in the same neighborhood. At one point, he lived in the same neighborhood.
Investigators say there was not forced entry. Was he a friend of the victim? Was he inside their home talking with them beforehand?
We don't believe that there was any prior relationship between them.
How old is Mooney, and does he live by himself?
Mooney is 26, and we are unaware of where he currently lives.
Was he involved in some sort of car wreck or car crash prior to this event in any way?
As I mentioned, there was a car theft that occurred April 30th in Northampton Township, for which there's an active arrest warrant out for him currently. That car was damaged when that car was recovered.
The Roy's car, though, was that taken from the house by the suspect?
Their car was taken from the house. I can't comment on how it left the house, but their car was taken from their house during the overnight hours last night. One more question, folks.
How were they killed?
That's not something I can comment on right now.
Was there any surveillance video in the neighborhood that's of interest or caught anything?
Police are working actively to canvass the neighborhood, speak with all the neighbors, which they did yesterday and will continue to do in order to ascertain whether there's any surveillance both in the neighborhood and the outlier areas.
Do you have a physical description aside from the limp?
I can show you a picture. This is Mr. Mooney. And you can expect that something will be up on our website on Crime Watch very shortly, over the next 10-15 minutes, that will probably give you a better picture right now. And we'll be back to update you as things move along through the day. Thanks, folks.
Ages on the victims?
So major developments in this double murder investigation. We do have a person of interest. This is him right here. You just heard it during this press conference. 26-year-old Daniel Mooney. He is the person that police and investigators are searching for. They say he might have a pronounced limp. They're not saying exactly how that injury may have been sustained by the suspect. We also have new information about the victims. Tyler Roy and Christina Roy. Investigators are not saying how they were killed, but they have identified the couple found dead inside their home. But once again, investigators are looking for this person right here, Daniel Kenneth Mooney, 26 years old. They are saying he's armed and dangerous. If you happen to have any information as to where he may be, of course, contact 911, contact the authorities, but still a very fluid investigation right now. Here, we just heard from investigators about the name of the suspect and the two victims in this double homicide. We'll continue to follow this investigation closely and provide you the latest at CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 5 and 6. That is the latest note live here in Bucks County. I'm Greg Argos. Jim and Rahel, back to you.